What is the number one thing your spouse needs from you? Like, not number two, not number three, not number four. The number one thing your spouse needs from you. That number one thing they can't get legitimately, healthfully from anywhere else. They married you, you married them with the expectation that you would deliver to each other what you need in the very most important space of your lives together. In this episode, I want to talk to couples who are busy, who are getting after it, who are succeeding wildly in their public lives, their professional lives, but may not be succeeding in their private marriage lives. Hey, I'm Rod Harrison. I am a marriage coach and relationships expert. I'm so glad you're here with me today. I want to help you. If you are that couple, if you are that couple who you know what it's like to be really successful at a high level in your chosen profession, whether it's sports or medicine or who knows what it is, business. Maybe you're an entrepreneur and you spend an enormous amount of energy and time getting to your goals, and your marriage could be suffering. I want to encourage you. I want to help you. I want to challenge you. I want to give you some insights, some things that you may not get anywhere else, some things that maybe nobody else is going to tell you because you're so successful that who can tell you that maybe you're doing it the wrong way? Maybe you're missing something. Maybe you got a blind spot. So that's why we're here at Dream Marriage. So we're talking today about this very important topic, the number one thing your spouse needs from you. I wonder if you ask your spouse, hey, what's the most important thing you need from me that I can give to you? And we're not talking about a want here, right? We're not talking about clothes. We're not talking about diamond rings. We're not talking about Porsches and Benzes and big fancy houses. Nothing wrong with any of those things. Nothing wrong with those lifestyle accoutrements, wonderful vacations. They all have their place. But what is it that they really need? Now, when we talk about a need, we're talking about something that is literally life or death from a relationship standpoint. We're talking about something that is a must have. It's like the oxygen that we breathe. And if we don't get it, we find ourselves dwindling and losing energy um, and feeling like we can't breathe in this relationship because we're not getting what it is we really need. So we could flip the conversation or the question. I couldn't get the word out of my mouth. We can flip the question and say, what is the number one thing you need? Because guess what? You both actually need the same thing. Are you intrigued yet? Are you thinking yet? Are you trying to figure this out? What is the most important thing that your spouse needs from you and you need from your spouse? I'm glad you have asked the question. All right. So now, before I give you this, I want to tell you this story because I discovered this a long time ago, but it became so apparent. I was working with a couple that I've been coaching for a little while now, and they're an amazing couple. They've been together. I think they've been married maybe 10, 12 years. Um, Wonderful careers in professional sports, or at least the husband has been in professional sports for years and done really well for themselves. I mean, just a great couple, great people. I love working with them. But they've been through some challenging times. This is not uncommon for the couples that I work with in the professional world. But it's been especially painful, extraordinarily painful. And one day we were in a session and I asked his wife, I said, what do you need from him? What do you need from him? More than anything. I didn't expect it to come out this way, but this is how it came out. Um, I need him to be here for me. Like that. Like, no, I'm not kidding you. I'm only on like 20%, right? At 100%, it was eye opening. It was like, yeah, I need him to be here for me. Now we use a phrase called ARE, available, responsive, and engaged. It's an acronym, right? ARE. And so I said to her husband, I said, "Hey, I want you. I hope you hear what your wife is saying in terms of what she needs, and I wonder if you can put your arm around her and move closer to her and pull her into you." I said to the wife, I said, "Hey, how does that feel to you?" She said, "Oh, that feels amazing." I said, "Is this common for you all?" They said, "No." I said, "Is this awkward a little bit?" Um, the husband said, "Yeah, it's a little awkward for me." But they were learning, and this is what I love. I only want to work with people, by the way, who want to do some work. That's why I'm very picky about who I work with, because I only want to work with people who are tired of just looking great on the outside and fudging it in private in their married life. I said, "Hey, let me see if this is helpful." I said, "What I see is some warmth." And the wife said, "That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is." I said, "And what's clear to me as I've gone through this time of working with you all is that you're both actually all in. And I can tell that your husband is all in. I know it's been a difficult time, but he's all in." She said, "Yeah, I know." I said, "And right now, he's accessible, he's responsive, and he's engaged." She said, "Yeah." I said, "So, what we're saying that you need from your spouse is for him to be AWARE." Let's talk about that real quick. The first A simply stands for being all in emotionally. Now, this is such a loaded idea, such a loaded thing. If you don't have a lot of experience expressing yourself emotionally, locating yourself emotionally, being emotionally aware of the other person's needs, this is a huge learning curve. And I help couples that I work with really grow in emotional connection, maturity, awareness, because it's so important. And so that being all in emotionally is a game changer. It's a heavy hitter. It changes everything. The W was for the warmth, because it's hard to be all in emotionally and be cold, be chilly, be stoic, be poker faced. Y'all know how some people are, right? Be stiff and man, are you tracking with me? Like warmth is palpable, right? People want to be around people who are warm. And we're not talking about warm fuzzies. We're not talking about inauthentic warmth. We're talking about legitimate, genuine warmth, like warm up to your spouse. They need you to be warm. When you come home from a long day at the office or wherever it is that you do your thing for your vocation, like show up warm. Show some warmth. Everybody has a hard day. Everybody has more on their plate sometimes than they imagine. But but your spouse needs you to be warm, not harsh, not cold, warm. That's the word I want you to get. Right. So it's A, all in. W is warm. The other A is available, emotionally available. Say that again. Emotionally available. That means you are tuned in. When your spouse is sharing their heart, when they're trying to convey what's going on in their day and where they are and what they're feeling and dealing with, you're not like, oh, okay, all right, okay. When we do that, we're not available. Like available, listen, changes the game. I keep saying all this is a game changer because it is. It is. It really is. Like for you to be available, like to be zeroed in, right? Not on your phone, not watching the basketball or baseball game right now while your spouse is trying to connect with you. Like be available. Make yourself available. Like, just stop what you're doing. It's not that important. Tell somebody else, hey, can you hold on a moment? My husband is calling me. My wife is calling me. Let me take this call. I don't even apologize when my wife is calling me. I don't say, excuse me, I'm so sorry I got to. Nah, Sherry's calling me right now. Hold on 1 minute. I don't care who I'm coaching. I don't care where I am, what I'm doing. I stop to be available to her. Available not just on the phone call. And she'll say something like, "Oh, were you with the client?" I'm like, "Yeah, but it's cool. Like what's going on?" I try to shift gears and be available to her. So all in, warm, available, responsive. Right? Don't sit there like a bump on a log and be like, "Okay, well, what are you gonna do?" Nah, be responsive. Like, hey, so how did that feel? Like, how was that experience for you? Wow, I'm so sorry you had that experience. That must have been tough. How you doing right now? Anything you need from me right now? How can I be helpful to you? Are you tracking with me? And then you want to know what the last one is? So we said all in, we said warm, we said available, responsive. Give me a moment. We're gonna come back to it. Let's go to a commercial real quick in the episode, and I'm gonna give you the last E in there. Okay, just before we continue with this episode of Dream Marriage with yours truly, Rod Harrison, I want to tell you about a great resource that's going to really help your marriage, your love life, your relationship. In fact, it'll help every facet of your life. This is my breakthrough communications workshop for couples. I want you to get a breakthrough in your communication. Just go to the description and click on the link for the free, yep, you heard it, the free workshop. Let me tell you, this is not a surface level workshop. This is something that will really help you experience transformation in your communication. And so grab the free workshop and enjoy it. Let it be my gift to you. And I look forward to seeing you soon. Let's get back to the episode right here at Dream Marriage. All right, welcome back to the episode. We're talking about the number one thing your spouse needs from you. We said it is to be aware, to be emotionally aware. Another phrase for it is to be emotionally tuned in or attuned, right? Like paying attention to what your spouse needs emotionally and where they are emotionally, being aware. We got to be self-aware, but we also need to be others aware. We need to be sensitive. The next letter in this acronym to be aware, AWARE, is to be engaged. Similar to being responsive, but to be engaged means that you're in there with them. I suggested to be engaged means to be sensitive to what it must like to be them. It might be a better word to say empathic. I mean, so many people in my work with couples, whether it's in our group couples, group coaching settings, our mastermind coaching settings, or my private working with my private clients, for whom empathy is just not a thing. In fact, I got a text one night from one of my clients that said, "Listen, we have never been taught about being empathically engaged with one another. We were raised in the kind of setting where you just didn't express your feelings. You didn't have time for that. Like you got to move on. You got to keep it going." And so many of my clients who are professional athletes say, and I know this because I was a chaplain and life coach and advisor in the NFL for 14 years. I know that the environment is not built for emotional engagement and empathy. It's not built for it because it's like, we got to go. Next play. Hey, can you go this week? I know you're injured, but you're going to be all right. Or can your team count on you? And there is little room for empathy because it seems too soft. And it's not just men. There are a lot of women who don't know what it's like to be emotionally engaged with your husbands, and your husbands are looking for, ooh, ooh, y'all tracking with me here? Your spouse, your husband, and your wife are looking for someone close to them that they married or plan to marry who can be emotionally engaged, empathic toward them, who will try to feel what they feel, try to understand what it's like to be like them. Put your foot in their shoes. In fact, when we're speaking at conferences and workshops at conferences, we often will have couples do a little exercise to help them understand the core of what it means to be empathic. And we'll have them switch shoes. The men will put on the ladies' shoes, the ladies will put on the men's shoes. And it's a sight watching them walk around the room and commenting on what it's like to walk in your spouse's shoes. When you are engaged, you are an empath. You are a compassionate person. And your spouse needs your compassion, needs your empathy, needs your engagement, needs you to be in it with them, trying to sense what it's like to be them, because that's what empathy does. Hey, I'm Rod Harrison. It's been great to be with you today. Thanks for dropping in to Dream Marriage with me. I'm so excited that you're here, and I hope that this content is making a difference in your life. Hey, don't forget the free um, couples communication workshop. I want you to get that. It's just for you. It's my gift to you. So just click on the link in the description. It'll take you right to it. Enjoy it. Work at it. Spend time with it. Because it's going to make a huge, huge difference. I can't wait to see you in the next episode of Dream Marriage. Hey, peace. Be well.